there and welcome back. It's been a long time since we've had one of these videos, but my local stores don't generally carry a lot of Breyers. I was in my local Walmart recently and was fortunate enough to find a lovely box of the 2019 Unicorn Crazy Surprise Stablemate Series 2. So, for my wonderful viewers, I bought the entire box, which is 12 stablemates in the series, in the box. This series is interesting. We have a couple new molds this time. We have the walking mold and the standing mold, which would probably be like G4 by now, I think. I've lost track of these stablemates. They're coming out with so many. Along with our usual suspects of an Alborozo, a Clydesdale, an Arabian, and our chase is going to be, as we saw last time, a Magnolia mold. This time she's in a really cool Decorator, kind of Neapolitan, ice creamy kind of color. It's really cute looking on her. So, as I like to do with these videos, I'm going to explain the horses as we go along so that hopefully whichever horses you are looking for, you will be able to find. What's super nice this time is Magnolia only comes in the chase color. So if that's what you're looking for, you don't have to open 50 million of them like we did when she was in the chase color and a regular color. So our first bag, again, this is how I like to open these bags. I like to look at the back so that I can see the horses that I'm looking for. And then I kind of find the body. I will come up to a head. This horse has his mane flat against his neck, but all of them do, so that's not a big hallmark this time. His tail comes out and it does a fork like the Alborozo, and it kind of curves around. There's no other horse in this set that has that flowy down tail. So this is most likely the Alborozo. His back legs are also a little farther apart, and he has one front leg that's a little lifted. So I believe this is going to be one of the Alborozo molds. And it is indeed the Alborozo mold in a really cute, kind of a pinky red brick color with silver hooves and a silver horn. He looks good in any color, doesn't he? They've done a really nice job with some shading along his flanks down to silver on his tail. So again, when I'm feeling them in the box, I feel the body, make sure the head, and then I come down and he's got this swoopy tail that forks. So when you're feeling down the tail, if you can get your thumb in between that fork of the tail, that's going to be the tell of these particular models that's going to be an Alborozo. So that's our first guy. Now our second, again, same thing. I'm doing this hopefully so that you guys can find the horses you're looking for. I have no idea at the moment. Oh, this is an Alborozo, but he's actually sitting in the bag this way. So I've got the body up to a head, and then I can feel the fork in his tail right there. So this is going to be another Alborozo. Sometimes they end up in the packaging. They can end up front. They can end up facing that way. Sometimes they're upside down. So that's why you have to kind of orient yourself. He has a little bit of a silver extra goober on his shoulder here, but he is much more nicely shaded than this guy. I don't know if it's going to turn out on the video, but this guy's kind of a solid reddish pink. This guy has lots of super awesome silver highlights, so if you're not going to show, this would probably be the horse that I would keep on the shelf because he's really striking with the silver in his tail and the underbelly along his flanks. This guy is really good looking. And if you were into that, you could probably take a little bit of paint remover and remove that little bit of silver paint. So, on to number 3. See, now these guys I haven't looked for before, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking for. So I have a body coming up to a head that's upright, but again, all these guys have pretty upright heads, and they're all fairly straight. This is probably the most curved, along with the Alborozo. Everybody else is kind of similar. When I come down to his tail feels to me like it flips out like that. And then very carefully, so that I don't break any legs, I feel the legs. Now this guy, he's got one hoof way up here, one hoof back about an inch, and then these two hooves are fairly close together. So this where my thumb and forefinger are, there's one leg here and there's one leg here. So I'm guessing this is going to be my green guy. And he's going to be pretty similar to the Arabian Mayor, but his tail comes down more. Both of them come out to a little bit of a flip, but his comes much lower off of his croup. Hers comes up in the traditional Arabian arch. So if you can feel from his croup down to his tail, I think that's going to be the tells for this green guy. Like I said, I haven't done him before, but let's find out. He is indeed one of our green walking, I think he's a walking thoroughbred. He has gold horn, gold hooves, white socks, nice, again, more of a solid green with just a little accent like our first Alborozo. His tail tip's a little silver and maybe his underbelly. His head's a little darker green. So this is what I was saying. This is where you could feel the space between his two front legs. Again, carefully, because you don't want to break their legs. But this space between his front legs and this flippy out tail is probably going to be the tells on this horse. So when you feel the body and then come down, the tail comes low off the croup, flips out, and then his front legs, because they're all, he's cantering, but the rest of them, these three are fairly similar. This guy is going to have a lot of space between these two front legs. So that's probably going to be the best way to tell the green guy. This is just my habit. So I have a head coming up here. I have a body. I have a tail that's coming low off the croup. Flippy tail, it kind of flips out. I've got a lot of space in between his front two legs, so I think this is going to be another one of these green guys. And dun-da-da, he's a green walking unicorn. Now again, this guy has a lot more contrast than our first one. He's got a lot of shading up along his flanks. He is a lot lighter green. This one's kind of a solid overall green. So if I was to keep him, I'm probably going to keep this guy. I like faces. You can see his face a lot better because it's not as solid as this guy. And overall, he's a bit lighter green. But it's nice there's a little bit of variety because then you can pick which one you would like to keep. That's always nice. So, on to number 3. Okay, I've got a big body here. Starts to feel like an Alborozo, very active, but when I feel his tail, it's very short. This Clydesdale is the only one that's going to have that short bob tail, so that's going to be the easiest tell. He is curved like the Alborozo. He is kind of in an action pose. His legs are a little heavier, thicker than Albie, but it's hard to tell in the packaging. When you're just feeling one of these packaging, because you don't want to really get in there and damage the horse, feeling that tail is probably going to be the biggest tell. So this is probably going to be our blue Clydesdale, and it is indeed a blue Clydesdale. So this guy has gold horn and hooves, light on his feathers. He's a really pretty light aqua color with a lot of shading. He's got a lot of silver. He's got a lot more body shading than our first two were. And like I said, when you feel his body, he's just nice and stocky. Very much feels to me like the Alborozo. He's kind of has his head turned like Albie does. You can kind of feel this little flip in the mane, but not very much. It's this tail. It's this little short tail. When you feel that tail, you've probably got the G2 Clydesdale. So, what are we on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stocky, curved head, little tiny nub of a tail. We've got another one of these guys. And let's see, he is indeed another one of our Clydesdales. This guy is a lot more solid. So it's interesting, all of our pairs so far have had one fairly solid and one super shaded. I hope it shows up on camera because his flank up into his hip is almost silver. This guy is just a real solid color. He's the same color turquoise all the way across his body. So there is a bit of variation. Us variation collectors do like to pay attention to stuff like that. So you can choose which one you like for your collection. If you're opening multiples, obviously. Oh, hey, another stocky body, another flippy tail. I think we've got another one of these guys. So it's interesting. There's 12 in the box. So you would think they would do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. But since this is a chase, A, you don't always get one in every box. And B, when you do, you probably only get one. So that means that some of these are going to have multiples. So this is going to be a multiple of that blue Clydesdale, which indeed it is. And this is a little bit lighter. He's super shaded. He's kind of a middle ground. This guy was solid dark. This guy's kind of a medium, and this guy's got a lot of contrast. So we have 3 different variations there. So that's nice if you're getting 3 of the same thing. All right, now this guy feels to me, just on first feel, I've got a body and I'm coming down, the legs feel like they're coming straight down, like he's standing. The tail comes off the body and it's coming down very nice. It's kind of coming out a little bit, but it's not got this little flip in the end of it like this guy. All of his legs are very close together. So I have a feeling this is this guy. I haven't had him in a package before, but let's find out. I actually don't even know his name. No! Yes! Wow, he looks completely different. Holy guacamole, Batman. When I opened that box, I thought I was wrong, but of course I'm not wrong. I never am, right? I'm always right. So, this guy is awesome. He is this super light, pale, bluish, periwinkle, lavender, gorgeous. Wow. He looks nothing like this picture. He looks like a very pale, very unicorny color. And again, you can feel these legs come straight down from the body. They're all 4 fairly close together. The tail does come out, but it's attached to this back leg. So I think it's going to be fairly easy to tell these guys apart, mainly because of these front legs. Because the tail on this guy feels more pulling out, but like I said, when you're pulling these packages and feeling through them, you can't always feel all the details. So these 4 legs being super close together are going to be this little standing guy's tail. And we have another guy with all 4 legs close together. The tail feels like it's attached. I think it's going to be this guy. So what do you think we're going to find? Going to find a dark purple or this kind of pale purpley guy? Dun, dun, dun. It's the pale purple. Interesting. This guy is also super pale, super pearly, super pretty. Looks absolutely nothing like his picture. This color, this looks almost black like the Alborozo black chase, purple chase. This guy is super light and lavendery. So, dun-da-da. Moving along, we've got another 4 legs close together. So I think we're going to get another one of him. No, I didn't pay close enough attention. We have the Arabian Mayor. I was getting a little cocky there, right? She is fairly similar, but much lighter than her pictured brethren. She's kind of yellow with just hints of orange, whereas the picture looks like she's super orangey. So this one felt like all 4 legs were close together. I didn't pay attention to the tail. The tail comes up off of her croup into that traditional Arabian curve. So I'm going to have to pay more attention next time. when I finally get my mini whinnies up, you'll hear about my agony of defeat and how many of those I felt before I found the horse that I was looking for. So we'll take a little more time on this one. We have a body, the head's kind of turned. All four legs feel close together, but now that I'm paying attention, you can feel the bend in this leg. And coming off of the hip, the tail comes up and swoops down and comes to a point. So I think we've got another one of these girls. Let's find out. It is indeed Miss Ice Cream Sundae. She looks like one of those ice cream pops that I used to get at the ice cream truck. These two are fairly similar. They have a lot of contrast, a lot of yellow on the belly, fading up to an orangey pink on the head and the top line. Like I said, what you're going to be able to feel is this bend in this leg, because all four legs feel pretty close together like our standing guy. And if you pay attention, you can definitely feel the curve of this tail as opposed to the standing horse. So pay attention, boys and girls, to make sure you get the horse that you're looking for. So now this last one, what do you think? You think we're going to get one of these or another one of these? This is that Magnolia, and she's going to be fairly easy to find because she's going to have a very flippy up mane and a very flippy out tail. So I've got a body, I've got a head, and I've got a tail. Now I'm going to feel off of her neckline and up, and this horse's mane goes up. Instead of just smooth over the top like these guys, the mane goes up. And when I come back out to the tail is like as big as my thumb here, and it's definitely above her body and coming out. This is definitely going to be one of the Magnolia Chases. So let's find out what we've got. It is indeed a Magnolia Chase. So if this is what you're looking for, make sure you feel the body, feel up to the head, and see how her mane comes up. When you feel up here, you're going to be able to feel that mane coming up and off the top. And then when you feel out to the tail comes way out. Just looking at her, she has a very active mane and tail, which are going to be the biggest hallmarks. Honestly, for me, it's just feeling this mane is the biggest hallmark. She has a silver horn, silver hooves, and she's kind of a Neapolitan ice cream, or colors of the rainbow, I suppose. Blue, green, yellow, pink, and then back to the blue, green, yellow color. She's super pretty. She's a little more matte than I was expecting. I was expecting a little more vibrant, maybe some sparkles or something. She's a little understated. I'd like to see a little bit more paint on the face, or a little bit less paint, so I can see the beauty of her head. But other than that, she's very attractive. And so this is the Chase. Whether they have one in every box, I don't think. I think they have fewer than one in every box. And if it's the Chase that you're looking for, just make sure that you're feeling for that mane and tail. Those are going to be the tells. If you're looking for the rest of them, hopefully now you know what you're looking for and feeling for. And good luck. Get out there and find yourself some unicorns. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thank you.